Hi and welcome to another video. Today I'll be showing something that probably no one expected, which is a Fractal Audio plugin. It is called Icons Fullerton, and in my case it's Deluxes Princetones, which is volume 1. To begin with, this video is not sponsored at all. I bought this plugin for full price, which in Poland was $125, so it's quite a lot for only one of 4 plugins. But I recently switched my main Tonex rig to the Fractal FM3, and I really like this ecosystem. And I basically wanted to see if it's possible to get similar tones on my computer, which is basically my main workflow. I don't really want to focus on the things that probably all of paid promos will tell you, but I basically want to see if it's actually a valid option for me personally. So I am currently running this plugin into the Reaper DAW, and I'm using my Audient Evo 16 audio interface. And for guitars, I'll be using this modified Harley Benton ST20, Fender Player HSS, and Ibanez PJM 301. So personally for me, this is basically kind of their take on a Tonex or Helix native. I think it's aimed more for people who are using Tonex VST, which is exactly my case, because it's probably my main source of tone when I'm basically playing at home. Okay, and I don't really want to talk about everything that's included. Basically, it's a very stripped down version of Fractal Unit. You've got a couple of modulations, delays, EQs, reverbs, drive pedals, and a few amp models in that case. So you may think, why even bother when you have, like, for example, free neural amp modeler or other, inexpensive plugins that has got a way more stuff to offer. But I think for people who are not willing to pay for AM4 or like Fractal FM3 or XFX3, I think it's a fairly fun way to start, basically. And the thing that I'm actually the most excited about is an input gate, intelligent gate, which is in Fractal FM3. And unluckily, I'm having terrible issues with electricity, both in my studio and at my home. Fractal FM3 was actually the first thing that deleted the noise. And I've tried everything in the DAW, including Burton Denoiser and other, very good denoising plugins. And I was very curious if it will be actually similar in the DAW. Okay, so to begin with, let's go into the tones, and let's start with factory ones. Okay, so let's go with that Nobel's ODR and let's change it a little bit in order to show you what the noise gate is doing. So let's reduce the threshold of a noise gate and add a little bit more gain so we'll be able to hear what it's doing. Okay? So it's very noisy. And let's add a little bit more gate. Nothing. But there's still like a little bit of noise in the background. Nothing. And this is a thing that I love. Noise gate is actually working. It's not really choking notes. So for example, if you want to play like very high gain with the regular single coils, you may do it. So as a reference, once again. Perfect. So, for me, the noise gate is great. And it's actually one of the main reasons why I bought this plugin myself, because I love a noise gate in here and I have terrible problems with noise in my studio. So just for fun, I want to show you what actually this plugin is capable of, and I decided why not do something like a fake Marshall or something like this. So what I have done, first of all, I've changed my user cap into my 3-man HB cabinet and my 4x12 TD. And I went straight into the expert mode. So basically I've added a CC boost, I've added a negative feedback and changed it to maximum. And I've also added a saturation switch, and here are the settings. And this is basically the core tone, what it sounds like right now. You know, it's not perfect, you know, it's not like Marshall, but you're getting in a ballpark. You may get something similar. Next, I've added a BB preamp and a compressor, and this is what it sounds like. keep in mind that it's still like deluxe verb, so this is kind of insane for me. Next, I've added a little bit of graphic EQ, dimension, and medium room. And here is the final tone. So, what do I think about this plugin? Quite honestly, not too much for now, because, you know, Fenders are not my cup of tea, pretty much. But I'm really waiting for much less, for Plexi or for JCM 800 models. Apart from that, you know, it sounds good, it's okay, but about value for money, I don't know, I'm not too convinced. For 100 euros I can get Scafhames gear, which pretty much kills that plugin, in my opinion, apart from Gate. And of course there's Tonex, and you know, I am biased because I am using the tones from the Tonex on a daily basis. However, as I said, I am really waiting for Marshalls, I am waiting for maybe Soldanus. And I think it's a good move by Fractal Audio because, for example, this is what I have been waiting on a Kemper for years, to have like a VST Kemper. And this is why I personally switched to Tonex, because in my workflow, especially when I owned the studio, I had to, you know, reamp, I don't know, 40, 50 guitars. And with Kemper, it was insanely time consuming. So is it worth it? I think if you're interested in a certain amp, yes. But as a whole, I don't know. Thanks a lot for watching, hope you'll enjoy this video, and I'll see you quite soon. Bye bye!